People think buying a big chunk of land buys you freedom, right? Peace, privacy, a bit of solitude, the American dream, all that. And for a while, that was true for me. I picked up 26 acres outside San Diego Place, high on a bluff where you could watch the Pacific crash against the rocks. Feel the salt in the air. Convince yourself you were the last person left on Earth. I was 39, a geologist. Consulting paid the bills, working remote let me chase the daylight. I was never after fancy. Give me my notes, my drone, a little quiet, and I'm set. But let me tell you, peace, it's always temporary. You know what I mean? So one Thursday, I'm deep in some soil reports, and this noise creeps in, some kind of machinery. Not a truck, not distant traffic, more like ambition with a carburetor. I step outside, don't see anything, but the sound's got teeth. I launch my drone, let it glide over the ridge, the part where my land just drops away into the ocean like something out of a movie. What I see? Well, heli-excavators, plastic fencing, even a portable toilet, and a sign that says, Future site of Ocean Cliff Retreat. Private access for Ocean Heights residents only. And these guys in hard hats are walking around on my land. Not near, not adjacent to it. They've got a trailer set up right at the cliff's edge. I almost spill my coffee, heart pounding, because that spot, yeah, that's my property, and not just on paper. I know every inch of it, every unstable ridge and old tree. Thing is, that cliff isn't just a pretty view. The rock underneath, marginally stable, which in my line means, sure, you might build and get away with it until the day you don't. You need permits, you need assessments, you need about a mile of red tape to even think about putting a fence up there. I'm not just being territorial. Build up there, and you're rolling dice with Mother Nature. So, I jump in my truck, hit the gas, and roll up fast enough to spray gravel halfway down the drive. There's a foreman with a clipboard. He says he's following the site plan, shows me a city permit. Alan Remy, Assistant Planning Commissioner, his name stamped on it. The paperwork says it's municipal edge property, managed by the HOA. I tell him he's nuts, this is my land. Got the deed, got the surveys, hell, I've got GPS data. He just shrugs, tells me to take it up with the city. So I don't sleep that night. Pull every record I have, title, survey, the notarized boundaries I paid a fortune for 8 years back. Everything proves it. My land clear as day. I storm the municipal building, wait 2 hours, get FaceTime with Remy. He's all community benefit zoning, temporary use authorization. Says my land isn't even listed as owned, so it defaults to the city. I ask who put in the application, turns out it's the HOA president, Karen Mason. Let me back up a sec. Karen Mason is one of those people who can recite HOA rules like scripture and thinks parking her Tesla across a fire hydrant is some kind of flex. She runs the Ocean Heights View HOA like her own private fiefdom if it benefits the community. She'll bulldoze whoever's in the way, paperwork or not. By Saturday, my bluff is a construction site. String lights, speakers, decking going up, everything manicured. Oak Cliff residents only signs everywhere. I stand there, call out to the workers, hey, this is private property. They say, they told us it wasn't. I realize it's not just arrogance. This is a hostile takeover, and they're betting I won't stop them. Come Monday, they're unloading tile, patio sets, even a hot tub by crane. There's a sign, grand opening soon for the comfort of our community. They're prepping for a ribbon cutting on ground they don't own. So I don't go back to City Hall, bring Linda Park. She's the kind of real estate attorney who can turn a clerk into a puddle with one eyebrow raise. We demand an injunction, drop a mountain of documents, deed history, GIS overlays, tax records. Linda's got fire. Remy tries to blame a clerical error. Linda calls BSMY deeds on file, tax paid every year. We file for a cease and desist. Emergency hearing in 5 days. I figure that'll slow them. Wrong. I fly my drone next day, theory working night and day, pouring concrete, anchoring decks into the bluff, building a pool over a known fault. They're racing the law, betting they can finish before the system can stop them. I confront the foreman again, unmoved, Bluetooth in ear. Talk to the HOA. That night, Linda sends them a letter, 15 pages of proof, legal threats. Next morning, Karen calls me directly, oozing condescension, Eli, you need to see the bigger picture. I tell her she's building a monstrosity on an active fault. She laughs. It's a pop-up spa, Eli, temporary. I say, temporary structures don't get plumbing permits and wine bars. She hangs up on me. By Thursday, the place looks like a damn resort, glass railings, imported palms, even a sound system for serenity. HOA members are already sipping white wine on my land, waving at me like I'm the groundskeeper. Friday, we're in court, but the judge says construction finished at 7:48 that morning. Karen beat the injunction by hours. All I can do is sue, but the damage is done. My land is now Ocean Cliff Retreat, a luxury hangout for people who think flamingo lawn ornaments are a personality. I document everything: drone passes, photos, even soil movement. I want proof. And then, just when I'm convinced this nightmare can't get more surreal, the earth moves. A 4.1 quake off the coast, barely a tremor, but I know what it means. At dawn, I launch my drone. There's dust, chaos, people running half the retreat, decking, jacuzzi, lounge, all of it gone, sheared off into the sea. Emergency crews everywhere. The bluff had given out. They built their fantasy on a time bomb, and nature called their bluff. But even that isn't the end. That afternoon, Karen is on TV, blaming me if only I'd warned the community. This wouldn't have happened. Within a day, I'm served a lawsuit. Ocean Heights View, HOA v. Eli Kramer. Negligence, failure to disclose hazard, damages. They're trying to make me the villain. I just stand there, holding the envelope, thinking, seriously? You sue me after you steal from me and blow up half a neighborhood? Linda doesn't flinch. We go on offense, she says. Trespassing, illegal construction, ecological damage, you name it. We countersue, name the HOA, Karen personally, the city planner, the contractor. But I want more. I want people to see how this happened. That's when I call Jamie Lee, law professor at USD. She brings in her students, makes the case a class project. They tear through city records, permit logs, campaign donations, everything. Sam, one of the students, finds the Mother Lodia permit map that excludes my land, campaign records linking the HOA to the city planning pack, and then, buried deep, an old geotechnical hazard report, my land, flagged as prohibited active slip zone. Never updated, just ignored. Turns out, Remy fast-tracked the permit, told a clerk to ignore it. HOA has provisional use backing. We have the email. Fraud, public endangerment, funding misappropriation. The students put it all online, blog the whole timeline, and suddenly the story blows up. Hashtags trend, Channel 7 runs an expose. Karen panics, calls emergency meetings, issues statements about weaponized student labor. Yeah, that happened. Finally, the DA launches a formal investigation, press conference, cameras, the whole 9 yards. Panic spreads in the HOA. Internal emails leak. Homeowners lawyer up. Even board members turn on Karen. The trial is a circus: evidence, maps, emails, even the law students testifying, laying out the whole fraud. Jury's not buying what the defense is selling. They return a verdict: Karen guilty on multiple felony counts. Remy disbarred. HOA fined. Damages awarded to me and the injured. But here's the twist. I could have rebuilt, could have sold out and washed my hands. Instead, I take the whole parcel and lease it to USD as a living geology lab. Now, students are out there every week, mapping fault lines, running sensors. The bluff becomes a classroom, a warning, a living story about what happens when arrogance meets geology. The retreat? Gone. All that's left is a steel sign bolted to the rock. Private property. Geologically active zone. No HOA access. Trespassers may fall off a cliff. Your call. Had it custom made. Humor's good for the soul, you know? Karen's serving 14 years. HOA's a punchline. The land's alive again. Sometimes, when the wind is right, you can almost hear it laughing at all of us. The students call it the Mason fault now. That's justice for you, petty, maybe, but poetic. So what did I learn? People want the view, but never want to understand what holds it up. They build on silence, then blame the earth when it answers back. I wouldn't change a thing, except maybe I'd have put that sign up sooner. The last time I stood on the bluff, the students put up their own plaque. Here fell the vanity of shortcuts. Here rose the science of listening. The wind picked up, the ocean thundered, and I just stood there, knowing the land remembers, even if people don't. What do you think, was justice served? Or was this just another round of the powerful playing games with the rules? Let me know what side you're on. Drop a comment, argue your case, because in the end, community is what you make it, and sometimes it takes a collapse to make anyone listen.